What's happening, guys? I'm Kobe Chowan here with Craig McCoy, and welcome to our latest Tuesday training, where every week we bring to you a live training from lead gen and AI all the way to business planning and goal setting.
You have the new version and the old version. We collaborate to make it awesome.
If you want to join and jump on the next Tuesday training, join our school platform below. It's completely free. Click the link below, and we'll see you there.
With that being said, again, I want to invite you guys to join us on our Thursday meetings at 10 a.m. And if you guys are so inclined, I'd love to have you. So that's it on my intro. Kobe, do you have anything to add?
If you guys want to be added to the actual calendar invite, just shoot me a text or email me. I'll add you to the actual calendar invite. The Zoom link will always be in the school platform as well. So if you don't see it, go into school, it's on the calendar. If you want it on your actual calendar, just shoot me a text, email, or throw your name in the chat right now, and I'll make sure you're added to the actual Zoom invite so you get reminded.
Cool. Because I'm here to hand you guys $1 million. That's it. Here. But all you have to do is buy that map. Buy into that map. Map's free. But anyways, yeah. So with that being said, we have our, we said last week, we're trying to set you guys up for your weekly goals. Anybody brave enough to roll that out and tell us what you guys set for your goal last week and who attempted it, who reached it? Show of hands. Anybody want to jump in? Hankerson?
I had a meeting scheduled with the buyer and realized that my buyer and seller guide's kind of like a listing presentation or buyer presentation. Hadn't been updated in 3 years. And so I went through and completely rewrote both my buyer's guide and my seller's guide. And of course, she canceled the morning of our meeting after spending the whole week doing a 24-page buyer's guide and 40-page seller's guide. But I rewrote them from start to finish, put a bunch of Sharon's stuff in because I thought it was a little more up to date than the stuff that I had from 3 years ago. And then, so I've got an online version right now. And then I've got the title company. I put one page in that's an ad for the title company, and they're going to print them for me for free.
Cool. Hey, Michael, on that, if you want to, or if you're comfortable with sharing that, go ahead and send those to Kobe, and we will get them shared with the group. That'd be kind of cool.
Actually, I put them in the school, so they're already posted.
Oh, okay. Very cool.
Oh,
all right.
So
awesome.
It's just a flip book. There's a buyer's guide and a seller's guide that are in there. It's just my spin on how I do things. I don't actually take them and try and get somebody to read a 22-page thing or a 40-page thing. I just plop them down when I'm there, and if people have questions, I can say, oh, well, here's what the answer is. And so it's just a tool to give you credibility when you walk in to talk to a buyer or a seller. There are, 25% of the people out there read them cover to cover. It's mostly business owners and engineers. And my background was in computer sales prior to real estate. And so I'm used to dealing with engineers. And so I've got lots of spreadsheets and lots of documentation for everything because those type of people like that. And so, the people that don't like it, I just usually say, hey, this is probably overwhelming. I realize you might not read it, but here it is just in case you're interested.
Cool.
I just both of them in the chat as well. So if anyone wants to see them, they're in the Zoom chat. You guys click on them. Thanks for doing that, Michael.
Yeah. And then the nice thing with the new technology, the print version, I've got QR codes to watch videos or to see other books. But in the online version, I actually embed videos. So in the second page, it says, hi, it's Michael Hankerson. I wanted to personally thank you for taking the time to read our guide. And so it's just a little introduction to add a little bit more personality to what is a lot of words.
Cool. So part of, again, these meetings is to kind of go over like what Michael just talked about and really help you guys lay out your path, whether it be your annual goal, your monthly goal, your weekly goal, daily goal. And so when we do these meetings, we're staring at a computer screen. So it's hard for Kobe and I to really figure out, some emotions and what you guys are tuning into or tuning out from. So what we want to do is every month bring these meetings live and have meetups. And we're going to start this, probably call it down in Encinitas for their first meeting, and then we'll do it up in Orange County, and then we'll do it here in Canyon Lake. We're going to start moving these meetings once a month, maybe not at 10 a.m., but we're going to have our little meetups somewhere along the way. And so as we continue down this road, trying to make ourselves better and more accessible and be here as a resource for you. We want to be able to meet in person, look you guys in the eyeballs, and just get to know you guys more than just a computer screen. So look forward to those invites coming up. And again, does anybody else have anything to share as far as their weekly goals, weekly wins?
TJ, how'd your open houses go this weekend? I know you did two of them.
Open houses went great. Finally got our strongest offer and got to counter it, and they just waiting for an acceptance of the counter. And once that's done, then second deal will be done and first sale will be done. So just
Brad.
waiting for that. Unfortunately, the buyers took off to Japan yesterday, so we're on a little bit of a time difference and communication delay. But it's they seem like a pretty motivated buyers, and they were super excited about the house. So just awaiting their call.
I'm going to piggyback on that for a second because I was helping TJ through this process, and many years of experience, I kind of get a little bit jaded on how to negotiate and how to structure counter offers. And being brand new is probably the best thing for TJ in this scenario. So my advice to him early on was like, hey man, this thing should be around 1.8, expect around 1.8. The seller wanted 2 million. You know what? Let's go ahead and give it a run and see where it goes. Knowing that the offer came in 1.8 cash, I was like, dude, this is legit. This is really good. Let's, either think hard about taking this offer or counter back something conservatively. Seller goes, nope, I want 1.975. And I'm just like, oh, great. Here we go. Well, TJ has a conversation with the buyer's agent explaining the situation, and the buyer's agent goes, yeah, we could probably sell it somewhere around 195. And I'm like, holy shit. Like I was off by an awful lot. So it doesn't hurt to give it a swing and give it a shot. And I've also had those same situations where you come back and you counter 50 grand higher and that buyer walks, right? And so your first offer is the highest, and then you're kicking yourself down that hill. So there's always that risk, but every transaction is different. And after 28 years, I still learn new things, and a fresh set of eyes is always fun to see how things work. So it's fun to work with the TJ.
Can I ask a question, TJ? Did you pick the phone up and call the buyer's agent and say, hey, this is where we're at?
Yeah, I have been kind of communicating with her off to the side. So before I sent the counter offer, and it was actually Craig's idea to kind of give her a call before I sent the counter offer in, and just kind of preference before I sent it in. Hey, this is what we're thinking. I'm going to send you a hard copy of the counter. This is kind of our backup plan. So we countered with, so they came at us with a 1.8 number. I came back and asking if they do a 1.95 number. They said yes. Once I brought that to my seller, she said, I want 1.975. So I explained to the buying agent over the phone that she wants 1.975, but is willing to go to 1.965. And she was reassured because of that call. And I think it helped soften up the deal a little bit more, just having a phone conversation, and rather than me just sending her a counter offer and sitting in silence waiting for an email back.
Love it.
Dude, do you always call the other agent with your offers, with your counter offers? Do you ever just blindly send an email and wait for a response?
Who are you asking that to?
Sue.
Oh, geez, hope not.
No, then that's why I asked if he picked up the phone in comparison to texting. I always pick the phone up and make the phone call to see where we're all at.
Yes. And that's an encouragement that Sue's reiterated a couple times, and I will tell you guys that is the most important thing. Our business is all about communication. We are in this business to sell, and so you have to, preface different situations with different conversations, and just sending things blindly, I think is the biggest fail for you and your client. I mean, in this day and age, a lot of new agents come in and just blindly send offers and blindly send counters and no phone calls, no communication. It's just like you're doing your clients a huge disservice if you're unable to communicate. So, as much as you possibly can, talk talk with the phone, not with the text or email. Definitely talk to them in person if you can, but obviously over the phone, super important. Anybody else have anything they want to share? Well, before that, we'll move on to Bill and Tim. Nope.
Not all at once.
All right. All right. Well, fine. Keep it to yourselves.
I'll
I
say
can only
okay,
push so hard. Go ahead,
I'll
TJ.
do one thing. Not a for sure thing right now, but I do have a meeting set up this Friday for my first commercial deal. So hopefully with a reference I got from a friend of Kobe. I have a client who would like to put a 7-Eleven in Orange County, so I'm gonna have a meeting with him on Friday to see if we can get him a 7-Eleven location in Rancho Santa Margarita.
Hey, tell them about your inside research.
I was just gonna ask that.
So there are a few different spots that I've already had picked out for him just prior to our first meeting. And before I became a real estate agent coming out of college, my dad is a principal at a high school, and I was the resident substitute teacher at that high school. And this week before this meeting, I picked up a class at the middle school right by the plaza that I'll be pitching this client on Friday, and just got to gauge several classes of seventh graders on whether or not they'd like to take their e-bikes to a 7-Eleven after school every day. And they were stoked on the idea of having that because the closest thing they have to a little hangout spot is a Shell station. So to hear that they'll have a 7-Eleven possibly soon right by their school, they were stoked to hear that. So I don't know if my client is interested in the opinions of seventh graders, but I was definitely excited to hear that they would be interested in something like that.
Yep. Contributing to the delinquency of minors. Just get them all hopped up on sugar and send them home.
Are you going to tell the potential client that you were a sub teacher or that you walked into a seventh grade classroom and just ask questions?
I wouldn't reveal my inside source, but I would say it's heavily credited.
Fair.
I also, when I had a client in town looking for some commercial property, we ran into a guy that was actually fixing a place up, and he gave me the owner's name, that he owns 120 doors. And so I've been talking to him, and part of what happened this week is I was talking to him and I said, these cap rates are way too low for what you're offering. And he actually ended up going through and redoing everything. And so I've got a really good relationship now with the guy that owns 120 doors, because his books were all screwed up, and he fixed them. And then I went back to the guy that wants to do the 1031 exchange. I'm not sure, one of his deals fell through, so that's starting to look a little wobbly. But I went back to him and talked to him and said, hey, look, he wasn't doing the books right, but he's got it fixed now. And so I went from less than a 3 cap to almost a 6 cap. And then these things are fully leased, rent stabilized right now, and they've been completely remodeled. And you go and take a look at the take a look at the outside of the building, and people have artwork out there and plants, and they're really taking good care of these units. And so again, that whole idea of you just got to talk to people really works. I talked to a maintenance guy, remodeler guy. I talked to the owner of the building. I talked to my client, and the more conversations you can have, the better that all works out.
Thank you for that. Does anybody have any questions about a cap rate or commercial real estate? Because that's might be foreign to some of you guys. Anybody understand what he's talking about for cap rate and rate of return and all that? Do you guys even care? No? All right, sweet.
I have a
All right.
question, actually.
No, I'm sorry to interrupt. I'm so sorry. Two people at once. Craig, as far as the cap rate going from 3 to 6, what does that change for the landlord?
For the property owner, as far as selling is concerned, it's
Yeah.
going to increase their well. So you have different rates of return for the buyer on the way in. You take their net operating income, and and you're going to divide that by a cap rate. So if you divide that by 6% cap rate or a 3% cap rate, you're going to come up with a sales price, right? Or you take that sales price, divide it by the net operating income, it's going to give you the cap rate. And so depending on if it's more favorable for the buyer or favorable for the seller, it's not the end all calculation, but it's a good jump off point, because then you have cash on cash. You have different ways to value commercial real estate. The cap rate is probably just the easiest way to get a snapshot of the value going in, right? So,
To
yeah,
answer
sorry,
it,
go
like
ahead.
literally, if the net operating income is $100,000 and you sell at a 3 cap, you're gonna get 3.3 million for it. If you sell at a 6 cap, you're gonna get 1.6. So doubling the value. And if you're going from a 3 to a 6 for a seller, they're losing half their value. So a buyer wants to theoretically buy at a higher cap rate. The higher the cap rate, the lower price they're getting for the property and the better deal it is. And so you're looking at some property in prime LA and Santa Monica on the beach. You're getting like, we've sold stuff at a 2.5% cap rate in Playa del Rey because it's beachfront property and they don't care about what the actual net is. Some of these multifamily buildings we're selling now, selling at like a 6.5 cap, just because the buildings are really old, the rents are really low, and or you're going off the gross. And so like your GRM is your gross rent multiplier, and you're just taking the gross income that's supposed to be coming in and doing a calculation on that. Right now, for a big multifamily in LA, it's all around like a 9 to a 10 GRM, and really just gonna depend on what somebody's looking at. It's easy to not fudge the numbers on a cap rate, but if you're running it really, really clean and you don't have a management company in place and you forget to throw in some utility bills or a gardener or maintenance, it's going to affect the cap a lot, versus somebody who's a little bit more of a seasoned investor, kind of know what their expense ratio is. It's going to be about 35%. And so they'll just take your gross number and give you an offer based on that.
Yeah. And then just a simple way to look at it, if you're getting a loan on this property and your loan's at 6% and you're buying at a 3 cap, then it probably doesn't make sense to purchase it. So if you're buying cash, this is a cash example. And so that's what you're looking at. It's just, again, a snapshot for this time at this moment with this not net operating income. What is it that you're looking for your return to be? Right. And so like Kobe's saying, there's either your cap rate, you have your gross rent multiplier, you have cash on cash, you have different ways to value depending on what you're doing. If you're buying cash or getting a loan or whatever you're trying to accomplish. So that's a different whole situation. But if you guys are curious, have questions on that, by all means, we're happy to answer them. But anyways, all right.
Something
Bill.
simple not to forget, cap rate is capitalization rate. So I would hate for someone just to go in and be talking cap rate and not know that it's capitalization rate.
Sorry. Yep, absolutely.
Maybe next week we could run through kind of a pro forma and offering memorandum and how you value commercial buildings or multifamily. Sweet.
Sweet. Yes.
All right.
You guys are so
Bill.
exciting on this call. Like, you just get it. All right.
What
Bill.
about, sorry, what
Sorry,
about
go
like
ahead.
commercial lease? Because a lot of times commercial, there's clients who are looking for a lease, right? How do you
Yes.
go about like asking? My experience, it's kind of like, oh, what are you comfortable paying for commission? But what would be how would you ask for the commission that they're comfortable with paying?
I would write it into the lease or like the LOI, the lease offer. And so
Yeah, whether you're buying a property or running it as a lease, you're going to start with the LOI, letter of intent. And so, like Kobe's saying, this letter of intent is going to be just detailing all the terms before you actually write out the lease.
Mhm.
And so you'll just be asking for, whatever that annual lease rate is, whether it be 3%, 4%, whatever you're asking for, or ask them again in the conversation, what are you guys paying out? And then put that as part of your letter of intent. And then
Michael's saying to ask for 7%.
7%. That's okay. Cool. Again, different properties, different areas, different, but again, just ask that listing agent what they're offering out.
Got it. Thanks.
All right, Bill. Anybody else, or if not, Bill's taking over. Go for it, Bill.
All right. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So it's been a wild week and a half, 2 weeks for mortgages. This war in Iran is kind of turned things around. We were seeing rates continuously falling, and they've bumped back up pretty considerably. We're having a good week, actually. Yesterday and today we've seen some improvement, but basically the idea is that the oil is not moving through the Strait of Hormuz, and now the price of oil is more expensive, which means that prices overall for people are inflated. Inflation is bad for mortgage rates. So hoping that the rally that we're seeing today is going to continue. But otherwise, everything else is on pretty good footing. We got a jobs report last week, and it was showing that the job market is soft, which is usually good for rates. The Fed is meeting this week. We'll see what they do. They're probably not going to cut their rate. Most likely going to move with caution, just given the uncertainty of all the things happening out there in the world right now. But we are still in the low 6% range, so much better than we were, this time last year. So plenty of opportunity out there still. In terms of loan programs, I know I've spoken about DSCR quite a bit, but I'm seeing it kind of pick up again. Gotten some inquiries. Basically, DSCR is for an investment property. If you can show that the rents that the property is receiving are high enough to cover the mortgage payment, the taxes, and the insurance on that property, all you need is a decent credit score and a 20% down payment. Sometimes we can even do lower down payment than that at a higher rate. And you can get approved for that property. We can also do those in most other states. We had an inquiry for Virginia yesterday, which is proving to be a little tricky, but if you have somebody who's looking to buy out of state, we can operate in at least 40 states on these DSCR loans, if not more. Let's see, what else are we seeing?
What's the lowest down payment you've seen on a DSCR loan?
15%, and the rate was, mid nines.
Okay.
So
yeah, quite high.
So it's and the trick about this loan is that the rent needs to be able to cover the mortgage. So if you have a smaller down payment, it's a larger mortgage and at a higher rate, chances are, most people are not going to qualify for that anyways, because the rent's not going to be high enough to cover the difference. Let's see, what else am I running into? That was really all I had for you. I think the biggest story in the mortgage world right now is just that the market is a bit turbulent with the rates. February numbers as far as homes closing are up from last year. So the market seems to be chugging along. So hopefully you guys are seeing the same thing. And please don't hesitate to reach out if you have questions, if you have clients who need to get pre-qualified. That's what we're here for. We can walk them through the process. I had a nice conversation with one of our newer agents, Dana. We're gonna try and work with her client to get them going. But one thing that Tim and I are both of us have been doing this for a long time. So if you're newer, we can certainly help walk you through the process, walk your client through the process. We're patient. We're going to give you, every single step and hold your hand all the way through. So that's all I got for you today.
Cool. Thank you, Bill. And for those of you guys that haven't met with or talked to Bill, by all means, we do own the mortgage company, and we also do own escrow. So we have a new escrow officer, Lisa. We still have Beth, and we have, LOs. But yeah, give Bill a call, and please use all of our services. It helps us help you guys, and tries to make the team stronger as a whole. So if you haven't given us a shot yet, give us a shot. All right, Kobe.
A couple of questions just came in. Michael said, can you give me some guidance or example of an LOI? Yes. Craig, do you just ask chat usually for an LOI, or do you actually type them out?
I actually type them out.
Okay.
But I have a boilerplate LOI that I use, and so I just keep changing it.
Here's one we got quite some time ago, but thought I'd show you what's on it. Really just detail the high level of it. So what purchase price is going to be, what deposit would be, the diligence period, closing date, closing costs, who pays what on the brokerage side, who the purchaser is. Really just a quick layout of terms. Sometimes they're 1 page, sometimes they're 10 pages, sometimes they're 2 pages. Usually the shorter the better. You want to just get the high level of price, deposit, timelines, commissions, closing costs, all kind of laid out quickly. And then during that diligence period, if everything goes well, you would obviously go in and write the full offer. Craig, how long is yours? Like a page?
Mine a page, yeah.
Yeah, so it doesn't need to be too crazy. You want those key points on there. Would you add anything else, Craig, except for purchase price, timelines, closing costs, something
Property
like
specific. I mean, if there's something that's specific about the property that you have to detail out, then yes. But for the most part, they're all pretty simple. And like, Vanessa mentioned the lease. Leases are pretty straightforward. You're just going to lay out those terms. A purchase might be a little bit more complicated if you have a loan. But again, just lay all that out, get all the terms accepted for the most part on the LOI, non-binding, and then you go forward with the actual purchase contract once you get all the terms worked out. Simple. Yeah.
Yeah.
Simple. Easy. So if you guys want to get into commercial, have you guys have any questions on commercial? Let us know. And then, like Bill just mentioned, the DSCR. Bill, I mean, I know some of these guys are new, and the DSCR, like Sue just mentioned, the cap rate, capitalization rate. DSCR is what? Debt service, C something
Coverage
R.
ratio.
What is it?
Yeah. DSCR, debt service. Sorry, what did you say, Kobe? I lost it too.
Coverage ratio.
Debt service
There you
coverage
go.
ratio. That's right.
That sounds
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, and it's the same idea as a cap rate, right? It's like, is the property going to make money or not? Are you
Right.
buying an investment property that's cash flowing or no?
Yeah. All right. Well, okay. Anybody else have any questions? Again, we're here for you guys. And so if anybody has any questions, if you're working on something that you have a question on, your question might be a question that somebody else has, so don't be scared to ask it. Or you can stay on after and we'll try to answer your questions one off if you guys want to. So
Yeah, I have a question, Craig.
sure, go for it.
And this is like being completely flat out, but I consider honest. I won't say I'm in a slump, but like I set myself a goal because I like how you say, hey, what were your goals and what were you doing? And my goal was to pick up the phone and call 5 past clients. Hey, how are you doing? Have a conversation. Would you like to go out for coffee, go for a walk, and the end of it, of course, ask, do you know anybody who's buying or selling? And I got through 2.5. One person I actually left a text for, which is not what I wanted to do. I actually want to pick up my phone and call. So it's not that I have a question. I just want to be really honest. Sometimes in real estate, you go through a little lull, and I will reattain it this week and do it even better. But I just wanted to be honest that this is happening.
Well, thank you for that. And this is just for everybody. No matter what your goal is, your end number goal, whether it be an income goal or a transaction goal, everything revolves around contacts. Okay. So if you aren't actively contacting people, you're going to stay slow, right? I mean, you can obviously go the new school way and do TikTok videos and Instagram videos and try to grow your social sphere. But at the end of the day, we are in a contact sport. So the number of contacts that you make are going to be the number of conversations, number of closed deals. And so when you're slow, make contacts, right? And so it doesn't matter if it's your sphere of influence, if you're going to be calling FSBOs or expireds or notice default, notice of sale, reach out to different attorneys, divorce attorneys, probate attorneys, financial planners, whatever you're trying to do, you have to make yourself available, put yourself out there, make some phone calls to anybody, to everybody, family, friends, sphere, network. You have to make phone calls. So I know that everyone hates to hear that, but if you guys want to reach that $1 million goal, and here's the roadmap is going to consist of contacts. The easiest way to say it. There is cool things with ads. You guys can sit back and run ads and answer calls. You guys can sit back and make cool videos and put it on YouTube. Those are all traction. Those will all take time and those will all work. I'm not saying they won't work. But if you're in a slump today, that phone is your best friend. Pick it up, make phone calls.
100%.
So, yeah, can't stress that enough. Thank you, Sue.
Yeah. Well, one thing I'll mention, you were talking about calling, picking up the phone, especially when you're putting in an offer, but it's important to just remind people, like, look, you're buying a house. This is a huge investment. This is the kind of thing that we really need to have direct, clear, open communication. Just remind them. So people are so attached to their text messages, but so much gets lost in translation. So especially if you're working with younger clients, make sure to put that out there early. Just say, hey, look, we need to be able to speak to each other. We need to be able to speak to the other side, even the other agents. It'll help significantly.
Yeah.
My 2 cents on that.
Thank
Hey,
you,
Bill, I got a quick question. Because I just got a email about a doctor loan program. Do you have any of the what is it, emergent, like the service deals for teachers and doctors and firefighters and things like that?
We do. I'm glad you asked. So we do have some lenders that have recently opened up physician loans. It's one of those things that's kind of been an enigma. It was available years ago and get asked about it all the time. And just recently we've had a few open up, and those are awesome. Like, we can go up to a $2 million loan amount with no money down. And they also are not going to count the student loan payments against their debt ratio. So it basically, doctors have these massive student loans, so it opens up them to qualify for more money. So the physician loan is great. As far as like first responders, teachers, I don't know of anything in particular for teachers, but really I got a request on a first responder recently, and it's down payment assistance basically. But if they are a first responder, not sure about teacher, but a lot of the down payment assistance programs have income caps. You can't make more than like 140% of the area median income. But if they are a first responder, they're not stuck with that cap. So it can open up down payment assistance for those people where it may not be available otherwise. So that's what I've got so far. I've been looking. I think if you have those clients, don't want to ever drive business away from myself, but you got to take care of your clients. So if they are involved in like a teacher's credit union or a police officer's credit union or whatever, that's something to take a look at, because sometimes those institutions will have specific programs for their members.
Cool.
Oh, thank you.
Hey, Sue, you have my wheels spinning here. So when it comes to kind of piggybacking off the conversation about reaching out to people, think about it this way, right? If one of your friends calls you guys and says, look, I'm starting a business, or I'm in need of something, or I need help with, right? The first thing that you want to do is help your friend. So if you can put yourself in that mindset, make that phone call and go, hey guys, just, this is going to be a business call along with just saying hello, but I just want to remind you guys, I'm in real estate. I want to drum up some business. Do you guys know anybody looking to buy or sell? Get it out of the way, ask the question, ask it up front, and then move on to talk your coffee date, your pickleball date, whatever you're going to be doing. How are the kids? How's little Billy doing? Whatever, right? Then it's a personal call with an ask, and at the end of the call, just say, hey, just again reminding you guys, if you guys hear anybody talk about real estate, please keep me in mind, right? It's that call. It's a personal note. It's a thank you card. It's whatever that is. And again, use that with your monthly gifts, your pop buys. Pop by these houses, give them these gifts. Do these things to stay top of mind with your network and your sphere of influence. And so there's a ton of different ideas. We can talk about different ideas that you can stay in front of your sphere, but just focus on that, because your sphere, your network, again, kind of sound cheesy because you hear it all the time, is your network is your net worth, right? So take care of your people, ask for business. They want to help you. You just got to ask. Anybody else? Kobe?
All good.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions, concerns, want to see different format, different things, different topics, suggestions for our meetups, locations? But right now, Kobe and I will figure out where our first one is going to be, and we'll send everybody a message and try and get a good sized group together and just kind of move this along the way and do cool things. Have different speakers come in. If you guys have different ideas on what you guys want to learn, again, throw it our way, and we're here as a resource for you guys, here to help you guys, and whatever we can do to help you, we want to try to figure it out. All right.
You guys
All
next
right.
week.
Hearing nothing. Anybody want to stay on and keep talking, have questions for me? I'll stay on for a little while longer. If not, we'll see you guys next week.
Bye, guys. Thanks for jumping on.
I just wanted to ask about the first book club meeting because I wasn't able to join it. How did that go? What was
It was amazing.
what did I miss?
So we're going, well, you're gonna be a little behind because we're going on now to, I think it's chapter 8. Is that right, Sue?
Up to 7.
Up to 7. Okay. So we're going to be, the first 3 chapters were the first meeting. Some of these, it was anecdotal. And so for the first couple chapters, you're not going to miss much. It just builds off of that. And so if you have the ability to catch up, even if if you're not caught up to chapter 7, just attend the meeting. You're going to hear, what different things mean to different people. I've never run a book club before. Sue had to like hold my hand a little bit and say, "Hey, Craig, you're doing it wrong." So thank you, Sue. But I'm going to lean on you guys a little bit on how to run a book club because I've never been in a book club. But what it's going to do is just bring some of these different ideas, like what it means to me, what it means to Sue, what it means to TJ, what it means to you. It's going to just bring to light different ideas, right? And so if we can all kind of get our minds and our hearts and everything aligned and reach out to the stars and create some cool life, create a cool life for ourselves, that's all I'm trying to accomplish. And so different for everybody, but no matter how far along you are in the book, just join us on Thursday.
There's only been one meeting, right?
That was it, just the first meeting. Yep.
And it's already chapter 7. Okay.
Well, it was chapter 1 through 3, and now it's 4 through 7.
Oh, okay. Jesus, really?
Catch up. Come on. Speed read.
You also can get on. So for myself, I just have a lot more ability to listen to things on audiobook. So I did download it on audiobook, but there are a lot of diagrams on this and you can get a free PDF of it. So it just it depends on where you spend your time. If you're out walking, it is not what I consider an easy read, but it is a good read. And I want to commend Craig. He is stepping out of his comfort zone and doing a book club. So congratulations. I think that it's a beautiful thing. And I did not say that he was wrong doing anything. I just made a couple of suggestions, but it is definitely a interesting read for a first book club.
Yeah. Well, and interesting, yes, and difficult, yes. I just feel personally, and why I want to start with this book is it's the underpinning of a lot of the business-minded books that I read. And so this really gets into the understanding of what happens to your body, how you do it, why you do it, what's happening when you do it. And it just brings to light like just the foundation of all of the other books. We talk about the 5-Hour Work Week, when you talk about Napoleon Hill, when you talk about Earl Nightingale, everything revolves around mindset, right? And putting yourself in the right state, understanding what's happened in your past, how your past creates your future, understanding these things. And this book goes into depth and really explains, if you guys are into pictures, I like pictures and picture books, like See Spot Run type of thing. It's a heavy read, but it has pictures, it has diagrams, it has examples, it has anecdotal stories, it has just examples of all this stuff. Along with the heavy read, it just helps you along the way because he reiterates and really he goes through and builds off of each chapter, but then kind of everything builds on itself. And so as hard of a read as it is, if you're not into this kind of a read, it does build on itself and repeat itself and really helps you learn along the way. And so I think it's a good one. It's a good one to start. And if it's too heavy for you, the next one we'll read, more Kobe style, like The Greatest Salesman in the World, little Og Mandino book. We'll add some little ones in there for you guys too along the way. So
Thanks,
to give your brain a break. I gave Kobe a book, 5-6 years ago, Think and Grow Rich. Have you read it yet?
Yep.
No, you have not. So again, for Kobe, we'll have the small ones.
Thank you.
But again, I this to me is a kind of a personal thing. I want to help you guys. I really want to be a part of you guys on your journey. And if it helps you guys somehow, some way, then that's awesome. I mean, my goal my goal is to help you. And if I could be a part of that journey, I'll be stoked. So, yep. All right. Anybody else have any?
Link to the book on Amazon. TJ sent a free version through something and a SoundCloud version of it. So
yeah. Anybody? Questions? Commercial?
I look forward to the in-person ones so people can't turn off their camera.
Yeah. So while we're talking about that, anybody have any suggestions for our first meetup? I mean, selfishly, I'm sure Kobe will want to be in San Diego. I'm sure TJ want to be in Orange County. But anybody have any suggestions where we meet up first?
What are your thoughts on it? Is it like still the training or is it more just meetup based and hang
Me?
out?
Are you
Yeah.
asking me? Both. I mean, I think it's important to be able to just look everybody in the face, say hello, get to know everybody. Because again, we're stuck to a computer screen. You know, we as much as we are separate doing our own things, I think as a whole, it's important to build this community, build this culture, and just get to know each other, help each other out. You know, everyone gets to see each other, and they see this little picture on this little computer screen. It doesn't do much, right? So I want to be able to meet you guys and look you in the eyeballs, shake your hand, say hello, and roundtable, mastermind, what's working, what's not, where are we going, what's the future? I mean, just all the big questions, right? I just want to meet you guys.
We'll maybe send out a poll with some different options of places and see what everybody picks.
Yeah. So, yeah. All right. All right. Anyone? Nothing? Does anyone want to learn how to? Actually, you know what? We have a new guest on our call today. Let me introduce him, Michael Humphreys. We're looking at opening up a different version or a different chapter of our company and having like a lead mentor. Because one of the things that, back to culture and being able to help you guys, Kobe and I have a lot going on, so it's sometimes hard for us. I know we've dropped the ball on a couple of you over this period of time, and so we want to have somebody really there to help guide the newer agents. When we set up Link, we set it up for seasoned agents, seasoned teams, really having a platform for them to launch off of. And now we're shifting gears a little bit, going backwards, and we do have a lot of solo agents, a lot of new agents, and so we want to be able to nurture those agents along the way. And Tuesday meetings are great, but having somebody there as a mentor, as a guide, that's what we're looking to bring on for all you guys. And if we can do that, again, helping you guys create and build your business, be more successful. That's Michael. Michael is here on the meeting today. So if you want to say hello, Michael, go for it.
Hi, everybody. Happy St. Patrick's Day. I hope you're well. I'm up in beautiful Santa Barbara, Montecito, California, and luck of the Irish in the background. I don't know if I told you my joke about the two gay Irish guys. If you got a quick
Good start.
second. Yeah, his name is Gerald Fitzpatrick, and the other one is Patrick Fitzgerald, and that's the end. So I look forward to helping you guys and hearing what you'd like to learn. I've learned a lot in my 29 years in mind feed of the business, and it starts with really law of attraction. What Craig said about mindset is true, and I don't know if many of you know the story of Dr. Joe. And you're just going to get into supernatural, but he actually was hit in a cycling accident and broke his back in 3 places. And he actually healed himself faster than the doctors ever thought possible and learned to walk again. So he's had a lot of time to sit there and think about things. And I don't know if anybody's been hospitalized or anything like that, but I have for a little bit. And I was only a few days, he's months. And when you have that time to really think about things and to talk to God, it's really an extraordinary moment. So there's some great things in that book. It's a heavy load to start, but if you get past it, there's some good stuff coming down the pipe for sure. And there's no such thing as a small book. Every book, the best book I've ever read is As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. If you've not read that, that's another thing about mindset. And what you think about all day long is what you become. It's absolutely true. So thanks for having me. I look forward to helping you guys in any way I can. Thanks,
Cool.
Greg. Thanks.
Right on. All right. So hopefully we see a lot more of him. We are trying to work out some details on how to structure bringing him aboard and making this work for all of us. So hopefully he's on board for a while and can answer any questions for you newer agents. But yeah, anybody else have any questions, concerns, comments? TJ, you're smiling about something.
Thank you guys for jumping on.
Just so
All
happy
right.
to be here.
All right. Well, I'm happy you're here. We'll see you guys next week.
Yeah,
Bye.
TJ and I
See
are
you guys on
smiling
Thursday.
about the same thing, I'm sure.
Bye, guys.
Bye.